Greetings, colleagues. It's come to my attention that a number of you may not have set up a grading scheme for your course. This is important because Canvas will not know what to do with the points or the percentages assigned to the assignments in the gradebook. It won't know what grade to attribute those without the gradebook or the grading scheme being set up. So I would like to go through and show you how to set up the grading scheme. Now before I do, I'd like to mention that the English courses, ENG 1050, 1020, 1060, the Gen 1000s all came from a master shell, and those master shells did have a grading scheme set up already before you copied those courses or those courses were set up in your account. However, pretty much any other course that was launched in Canvas did not come by default with a grading scheme set up. So let's get started, and I'll show you the quickest way to determine if you have a grading scheme set up in your course. The first thing you'll want to do is go to your courses list and select one of your courses. In this case, I'm going to select this dummy course, if you will. Now, the first thing you'll want to do to see if a grading scheme is set up is to click on the settings for the course. That's in the left-hand side in the course navigation links. You will note this course, the grading scheme, says not set. So this course right now has no grading scheme set up. To set up the grading scheme, the first thing you'll want to do is click Edit Course Details, scroll down, and then select Enable Course Grading Scheme. And then click Set Grading Scheme, which is the hyperlink that shows up when you click the checkbox. By default, Canvas will give you this plus and minus grade scale. If you recall, Todd had set up some default grading scales. Before we select those, I want to point out that if you are doing a 10-point grading scale or an SU, you can use the predetermined grading scales. However, if you're using a 7-point or any different type of grading scale, this is where you will make the change. So to do that, you'll click the pencil, and you will go through and set up your point values or your percentage values for the grades, and deleting any plus or minuses. So that is how you create your own custom grading scheme. Name the grading scheme and then save it. However, if you're using a 10-point or an SU grading scale, you'll click the magnifying glass and you'll see the two grading standards that were set up by default. So in this case, let's select a 10-point letter. We're going to use this grading standard. We'll select Done, and then we'll select Update Course Details. When the page refreshes, you will note under Grading Scheme, it now says 10-point letter. If you created your own custom scheme, whatever you wish to call it, that's what would be reflected here. So that's how you set up the grading scheme. To make sure that it took effect, you can always click on the grades, and in the far right-hand column under total with the grades, you'll see a letter grade after the percentages. So that's how you know it took effect and that a letter grade is now attributed to any assignments in your course. Thank you, and I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused, but in the future we'll make sure that we do this the very first thing at the beginning of the term. I'll send out a reminder for everyone to set up their grading schemes. All right, thanks for your understanding and your accommodation. Please give me a call if you have any questions or run into any problems.